Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gritty Girl podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Wilson. If you are new here, my name is Amanda, and I'm so glad that you're here. I am a work from home mom, nurse, wife, um, several years experience in medical surgical nursing and health and wellness coaching as well. I have built my channel brick by freaking brick over time just to try to reach one person. Always my goal to try to reach one person. And it has been about a month since I have released an episode. So if you've come back, welcome back. I'm glad that you're here. I have been talking a little bit about this the last couple of days on some of my socials about being pulled or drawn to get more consistent with my podcast. I don't know why, but the month of August is just looking like that's it for me. It's looking like I'm being led to do it. I don't know the reason why. I don't fully know what's in store for me, but I do feel like there is a need for some of the things that I'm going to talk about. I am challenging myself to do a series for the month of August based on the mantra and the idea of I am enough. Okay? We've heard it, we've seen it, we've probably browbeaten it to death. I am enough. And the different topics I'm going to talk about, the one today might be a little unconventional, and you're going to be like, how the hell does that even tie to me being enough as a person? But I do feel like it is a very important one, especially going into the back to school season that we are jumping into very soon. Um, so my episode 1 for this series is going to be titled Money and Mindset. Now, before I get too deep in the weeds, and my goal is to keep this under 20 minutes. I'm going to try to keep my episodes under 20 minutes. So kind of fast and furious, kind of surface level, kind of not. But the thing about money and your mindset is I feel like it does play a big role in our day-to-day lives. It does kind of propel us toward certain goals and certain things that we're trying to do. And right now, with all the craziness, I'm seeing it in the news and on socials. People are talking about how expensive everything is, like $800+ for school supplies and school clothes and all the things. And I'm like, that is freaking insane. But before anybody comes at me, some of you are going to kind of have in the back of your mind, well, Amanda, you work from home and your kids homeschooled. Like, how can you be on this pedestal and talking about da 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 da? You're right. I do work from home. I'm a remote worker and my son is homeschooled. That doesn't mean that I don't have some money stories or some words of wisdom, because our family is also on a get out of debt journey. So there is some little tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you all that have helped me and helped our family build up our emergency fund and cash flow things that we have needed. So, what does money and your mindset, what is the connection there? There is a connection there because money is the currency in which we obtain things. Kind of like our energy, our spirit, our mental health and well-being is currency for the non-physical parts of our life, right? So how we use it, how we spend it, how we obtain it, how we're filling up our cup, it's one and the same. Okay? So and this is going to be kind of unconventional too, but when your house is in order, quote unquote, and I don't mean like your house is spick and span, but spiritually, psychologically speaking, when your house is in order, when you feel like everything is going in the direction it should be going, that doesn't mean that stuff's not going to happen. But when you give your money a name, you tell your money where to go, you sit down with your partner or the person that you're residing with, and you say, look, these are my goals. This is what I want to see happen in the next 5 years. You should be able to do that. Even if you're not in a place to where you can do that, you're probably just going to stop this podcast right here and now because you do have to have somebody that is on the same page who also has some similar goals and things in mind and is kind of money. You guys are on the same level with money and finances. Okay. So your mindset and money you need to have, first of all, a healthy relationship with money. Okay? When you have a healthy relationship with money, you budget, you still make time and still allocate funds to have free time, buy fun things, right? When you have a good relationship with money, you feel good about the purchases you're making, right? If you are using credit cards, you know the reasons why behind using credit cards. Um, your spending habits. So, are you doom scrolling all day and you've got Amazon pulled up 4 hours of the day and your cart's full, but you haven't purchased yet because you're waiting to run it by your significant other, or you're trying to reason with yourself, do I need this? Do I not need this? Mindset. So, what has you doom scrolling to the point where you feel like you're just mindlessly adding stuff to your cart, right? Bringing back some awareness. I think a lot of us with money and intention, we're missing that awareness piece where, yeah, it's fun to sit there and add to cart and charge it on a card and pay for it later. But what happens when later comes and you don't have the money to pay that card off? Like, you've reaped the cash back rewards, but you don't have the funds to pay it back. So then you're having to rob Peter to pay Paul, and then you get anxious and overwhelmed because, oh shit, you just spent $300 on Amazon in less than an hour and you don't have the means to back it up and pay it off. Then you start getting in that hole of debt, and then that's where your mindset can just go awry. So when one part of your life gets affected, it's kind of a trickle down effect. So maybe you've had a good day overall, but you're stressing about money. You're stressing about the credit cards that you've run up that you accidentally didn't have the funds to pay off at your next pay period, or however you and your partner have it set up. So then the stress and the anxiety starts to bog you down. You start to become this person that you don't recognize, and then you start getting depressed, and then you start, maybe it leads to other habits. Maybe you start binge eating or binge drinking, or you just start spending more because at that point you're just like, F it. If I'm going to go in debt, I'm going to go in debt, right? I only live one time. I can't take the money with me when I die. You're not wrong in that. Okay? You're not wrong. We can't take it with us when we die, but wouldn't it be a lot more tolerable for us to have a healthy relationship with our transactions, which in turn would help our self-esteem? Like, if we were able to cash flow something that had a pretty big monetary value on it, like, hey, I raised the money for that, I didn't have to use a credit card for that. Or if you had an emergency fund set aside for an actual emergency, maybe, and I don't want to speak things into existence, I'm having to be very careful. Maybe you have an appliance that goes out, and it's an appliance that is very important in your household, so you have to replace it. Wouldn't it be nice and rewarding and fulfilling for you to be like, yes, it might have taken us 6 months to build up our emergency fund, but we had the money to buy a new washer dryer set. That's what I mean. And you weren't, piling up your credit cards and stuff. Now, I'm also going to say this as someone who had catastrophic housing issues, 2025 was an absolute shit show financially for our house. Plumbing, and then we just bought a new HVAC unit this year. That's some of 2025 trickled into 2026 a little bit, okay? But we are still recovering from that, you guys. Like, full on disclosure, no BS. We are still recovering and getting our own house in order from stuff that happened and took place a year ago, and not even a year ago. We had septic lines put in September, October of last year. Brand new septic tank in the spring of last year. That's what kind of catapulted everything. Then the septic field lines, and then the bathroom remodel. It was boom, boom, boom all of last year and into this year. We finished up at the beginning of February of this year. So we're still recovering. We're still trying to recoup, and we still sit down at least once a month. It's not perfect all the time, or we'll at least have the conversation. But we'll sit down and we will say, okay, here's where we're at. Here's our budget. Here's our goals. We had to sit down and kind of finagle some stuff about a month ago or longer and kind of be like, okay, these are the things that we're needing. Boom, boom, boom. What's our plan to save up for X, Y, and Z? And we literally have an Excel spreadsheet, and we literally every time we get paid, stuff goes into our savings. And there's going to be people come at me. I just know it. Well, Amanda, our household runs to the, we're so, our household, everything is so tight right now. We can't put anything into the emergency fund. We can't put anything into savings. I hear you and I see you. But also, as someone who, I used to come up with a lot of excuses too. I used to come up with a lot of reasons why I didn't have money for X, Y, and Z, or why we couldn't save up for this, this, and this, until I had to start getting real and raw with myself, which comes back to mindset. Where was my money actually going? That was the first thing we had to figure out. Where the hell is all this money going? It just seemed like it was flying out the window as quick as it was coming in. Yes, we paid our bills. We didn't have late notices. We didn't have utilities shut off. We were very blessed and fortunate. But we had to have some hard conversations. Okay, what are we willing to let go of? I can't tell you. There was one month, I think it's been a year or two ago, we literally got rid of so many subscriptions. It was over $150 worth of subscriptions between the two of us. It was just stuff that we were like, you know what? It sucks, but let's let go of it for a little while and see what happens. So we were able to take that extra $18, $30, $40, $50 a month and start throwing that into savings, or start throwing it to a debt. And I can't tell you how freeing that was, what that did to our mindset, because we were like, holy crap, we've got $500 in savings. Holy crap, it's up to $800. Like, we're starting to watch it build. And so I'm not getting on here to like harp at anybody or judge anybody. I am saying though, sometimes we're very, very quick and defensive to say, we don't have anything left over. Okay, if that is the case in your situation and you have nothing left over, you truly have nothing left over, and you're catching yourself having to rob Peter to pay Paul, I want you to sit down with your partner, if you have a partner, and just say, I want to have an honest conversation about our finances and what's happening. Because what you're not going to realize is your financial situation is going to bleed over into your relationship and or marriage and your family life. And you're going to turn into this person. You're either just going to start spending willy-nilly, you're not going to set a good example for your children, or you're going to go the exact opposite way, which I've done this before, and get so restrictive, locking your bank card down, not spending anything, doing without, and going into almost this deprivation mode, which is not good for your brain. Both of those scenarios, both ends of that spectrum are not good. So if you truly are in a position where you're like, there's nothing left, I want you to sit down with your partner. Come up with a short-term plan. Like, for the next 30 days, this is what we need to try to work toward. Do we need to eat out less? When we go to ball games or go to concerts or go on road trips, do we need to pack a cooler instead of eating gas station food? Because I'm here to tell you, gas station food's expensive. Everything's expensive. So again, I don't need everybody running to my inbox and saying, well, Mandy, you don't understand. I do understand. I know that energy drinks are $3 and $4 a piece. Protein bars are $3 to $5 a piece, and chips are this, and cookies and candies this. I'm not ignorant. I know what's going on and I know what's out there. What I will tell you though, while you have zero control over the cost of things out there, you do have control over the things that you're bringing into your house and the teeny tiny changes you can start to make over time. It might just be hey, we're not going to eat out 5 days this week. We're only going to eat out 3. Cutting that down by 2. Take that $50 to $100 or whatever that you would spend on those 2 days, if you're eating out like lunches and dinners, throw that into a savings account. Just do it. That is my challenge for you for the next 30 days. Take that money. Every time you go to hit up Amazon and you're about to make a $25, $30, $40 purchase, take that money. I want you to add that item to your cart. I want you to wait 3 days. Wait 3 days before you spend, unless it's an emergency, because we do have stuff that comes up where we have to have an item or something right away. I want you to wait 3 days before you buy. Take that money, whatever that monetary value is for what you have in your cart, throw it into your savings account. Just do it. Come back in 3 days, look at your cart and be like, okay, do I still need that? Is that something I still need? Hopefully, if it's something you're in dire need of, hopefully you can get it from the store down the street or the next time you get paid or whatever. If it's not, and it's something you would like to have that's not necessarily a need, but you're buying because maybe you're bored or you've been doom scrolling or you got bad news or you're tired from work and the kids are driving you nuts, I want you to hold off on 3 days. Three's the magic number. Just wait 3 days. Stick it in your cart, throw that money in your savings, and go do something else. Go for a walk. Try a new recipe in one of your cookbooks that has dust on it. I don't know. Do something. And guys, I know it's hot as crap outside right now, but we are on the downward swing of summer, I hope. I really do hope that cooler weather comes in the next 30 days, even if it's just 5 or 10 degrees cooler, right? Do something, start retraining your brain so you're not as apt to spend, so you're not as apt to put money into impulse purchases. I can be an impulse shopper. I've done it. I have made many, many impulse buys based on me being tired or emotional. If I'm in my luteal phase, hello ladies, luteal phase right before your period, between the time you ovulate and your period, we can turn into beasts, okay? Just can. So sometimes we get a little cranky, we get a little in our heads, we get a little emotional, and we're gonna buy. We are gonna start buying shit. If you can do that 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, however many times it takes for you to start retraining your brain, hey, I'm going to delay that gratification for right now. I'm going to wait to buy that sweater. Not saying I'm not buying me a sweater. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait a few days, throw that into my savings, come back, and if I'm still wanting that sweater, I'm going to buy the damn thing. We don't need to be in the mindset of we're not buying, we're not spending, we're not going to treat ourselves. Because as I said before, you should treat yourself. All that to say, your money and your mindset definitely can be interconnected, and as they should be. But if you're finding that in between paychecks, which I know groceries, everything's high, and you're like, there's no money left over, go back and look at your spending in your bank account. Go see what BS purchases you have. Go see how many times you ate out or how many times you DoorDash. And I'm not judging. I'm never coming at you guys or anybody from a place of judgment because I've certainly been there. But just for the awareness for our mindset, go through and do an inventory and a self-audit on what you're spending, what time of the day it was. Get down to the wire. What time of day, ladies, what point in your cycle were you sitting at when this occurred? What was a major event going on in your life when you were DoorDashing 4 times a day? Start tracking that and start replacing it with other habits. I'm not telling you not to spend, I'm telling you to be mindful. There's a difference, so don't come at me. Don't come at me. And when you're going out, maybe this weekend, maybe next weekend, maybe you're a last minute shopper and you're doing the school supply thing, I don't have a hack for that. Because I know certain school districts have certain lists with certain things, which don't get me started on that. I think that's asinine too, but I get it. I don't know if there's any cheat code to that, but your clothing, catch your tax-free weekends. Try to save money on that where you can. I'm a thrifter and a second-hander. I'm sorry. I would say 80% to maybe even 90% of my kids' clothes are Goodwill. Secondhand. Now, his shoes, I'll go and buy him a really nice, good, sturdy pair of shoes about every 4 to 6 months, or as he says, his feet are growing. So as he's telling me he's outgrown his shoes or his socks or his underwear, those are new. Those are non-negotiable, but the other stuff, shorts, pants, t-shirts, he's not a brand kid. He could give a shit less about name brand stuff. So I will hit up Goodwill. And I know that's going to piss a lot of you people off. Well, they're in school, they need brand new clothes. You're the one that's putting that in your kid's head, that they have to have brand new stuff. So start looking at that mindset too, that they have to have the best of everything, the best backpack, the best this, the best that. Start looking at that. Start doing an inventory and watch how your brain is going to shift into a different way of thinking and looking at money as more than just currency. Look at it as energy too. What are you doing with your energy? How are you spending your downtime? What are you scrolling on? Look at your time on social media. That's really going to piss a lot of you off because I know for me, back in February or March, this is no shit. I would spend 4 to 6 hours a day on TikTok. Shamefully. I say that shamefully. And now I'm averaging maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. I am a lot more mindful now of where my energy, my time, and my money is going, and I can see a huge change in myself. So that is my challenge to you, friends. As promised, I'm going to keep these at or around 20 minutes. Try not to hit the snooze button and put you guys out, but these are just some little tips and tricks, some mindfulness as we go into a new month, some things that you can try. And as always, I am open to content suggestions and ideas, but I do have something already on the book for the next few episodes. So make sure you come back, like, subscribe, follow, whatever platform, and share with somebody you think this can help. As always, take care of yourselves and have a wonderful day. Bye until next time.